In the kitchen with Karen Doster from the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. Great to see you, Karen.
Good to see you too.
Homemade mac and cheese. We're doing
Yes.
two different twists on it. Once you get in the swing of it, you know, there's so many different things you can do, and it's so much better than the box stuff. I mean, not even in the same, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we actually have a new website called allthingsmacandcheese.com. It has over 100 recipes of mac and cheese, anywhere from gourmet to traditional to vegetarian to sweet, all those kinds, breakfast even. So
later we're doing a breakfast mac and cheese.
Right.
I'm dying to hear this.
Yeah, all using Wisconsin cheese, so there's lots of great ones in there for you.
And this is a fun one. If you like spinach artichoke dip, this is we're going to combine the two together. So the first thing we're going to start is the sauce, and I think this is the how-to part of this recipe. Once you start doing this, it's just
right.
so
And
easy.
a lot of macaroni and cheeses have sauces that use flour and butter to make a thickened milk. That's your base.
Okay, so
And
basically we melted some
we have some
butter.
butter in there, about 3 tablespoons butter, 3 tablespoons flour.
So equal parts.
And this one you want to stir over the heat till it starts to turn a little bit brown.
Okay.
And the reason you're doing that is you're cooking that flour butter mixture to help thicken the sauce. Okay.
And then over here we've got
In
some
the
olive
meantime-
oil.
Right, and I have a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to add actually a whole bag of spinach, a 6-ounce bag. We're going to cook that, saute it till it shrinks down for about a minute or two.
Okay.
Now, an option, you can always use a frozen spinach, one of those 10-ounce packages if you defrost it and squeeze out all of the moisture. Here we're using the fresh spinach, so that's what we're trying to do
Okay,
here.
so in goes now, this is our cream sauce. Equal parts flour. Whoops.
Yeah, and just add it slowly. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Equal parts flour and butter.
And then
it's
adding
2.5
the milk.
cups of milk.
Okay.
And here I'm using 2% milk. You don't want to, I mean, you could use fat-free, but it's going to be richer here.
Okay, all right, so I'll keep an eye on that. I got my whisk right there, and this is going to be the sauce that's going to pull it all together.
Right, you want that to start thickening. And let's just stir this up a little
You
bit
bet.
more.
You bet.
And when you are finished, actually, you're going to end up with this,
Okay.
this amount. So
all of that
you'll
goes
want
down to this.
Just a minute or two till it's wilted.
Okay.
Squeeze out all that moisture. That's really important.
Okay.
So while we have the sauce cooking over there, I'm going to make the spinach artichoke dip. That's actually the topping for this macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
So I have in here 4 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened. Okay, and then we're going to add, you can actually keep stirring while we're doing that with this here. We're going to add about half of the spinach because we're going to save some for the sauce.
Okay.
We're going to add some canned artichoke hearts that have been drained and chopped, and we're going to add about half of that.
Okay.
Reserve the rest for the sauce. We have, and you can kind of stir that in, Amy, if you'd like. There's
fresh garlic.
some fresh garlic, about a tablespoon, a couple tablespoons of shallots, and then a cup of Wisconsin Parmesan cheese. Okay, so we have really 3 cheeses in here: Parmesan, Wisconsin cheddar cheese, and Wisconsin Havarti that you'll see here shortly.
Yeah.
So we want to mix that together, and you want to take a little small casserole dish.
Okay.
Your oven's at about 300, actually this one's 400 degrees.
Okay.
And we're going to bake this for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes till it's kind of brown and bubbly. And
Just
then
like
keep
you
it
would
warm.
a spinach artichoke
Right.
dip. So
This is going to be the topping for when you plate.
or you could just get some crackers and bread and use it as
Well,
a
you
dip,
can do that too. It'll probably just be good that way as well. So that goes in the oven, again, till it gets brown and bubbly, and then you'll keep it warm to top it off.
Okay, so we've got some of that in the oven.
Right. Okay.
How's our sauce doing? Starting to thicken a little bit?
Let's get that going there.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, once that is thicker, and it's going to get a little bit thicker than
We'll
that
be
probably
there in
at home.
2 seconds, so we'll just wait.
Okay,
We'll
all right.
talk about our pasta. We're using a penne, a whole wheat pasta
A
for
whole
this.
wheat penne pasta. This kind of makes it a little bit healthier, a little bit different, and that's very easy to find in the pasta section of your grocery store. And a tip to keep in mind when you are making macaroni cheese, try to keep it like al dente. You don't want it to get too soft, especially when you're going to put it back in the oven. In this case, we're not, but for this recipe, but that's a tip to keep in mind.
That's true, because you don't want the mushy pasta. That's no
Right.
fun. So I'm just getting out our finished dip here.
Right.
That's been baking in the oven.
Right. So that's all ready, and we're going to top that off shortly with the rest of the.
Okay, so this is starting to boil, and yep,
Okay.
starting to thicken a little bit.
Right.
So in goes our cheese.
Yes, and we have 3 cheeses again. We have some Wisconsin cheddar cheese that I've shredded, about a cup of that. And in this case, when we're doing the sauce, take it off the heat. It's always best to take the mixture off the heat. You want to add the cheese at low heat, otherwise it's going to burn and get stringy. You don't want that.
Okay.
Okay. And then we also, that was Wisconsin Havarti cheese.
Okay.
That's nice and creamy,
Yum.
provides some great flavor. and then another half a cup of Wisconsin Parmesan. We're going to add a little bit of mustard, dry mustard, a little bit more of garlic, and a little bit of black pepper.
Oh, it's starting to smell fantastic.
So that is the cheese sauce, and then it also calls for a little bit extra zip, about a tablespoon of this sriracha sauce. If you're familiar with that?
Yep.
It's a kind of a spicy Asian sauce, okay? That goes in there as well, okay? And then you take your pasta that's drained and just add that to there.
Okay.
And mix it together, and then we're just about ready to plate it.
So this does not need to be baked then?
No, no. This is just like if you were making Alfredo, you know, with your spaghetti or something like that. It's the same kind of idea. So it's nice and saucy, which is the kind of macaroni and cheese I really like.
Yeah, look at that. Wow,
okay, and then we can plate it in there.
So we'll put it into a nice bowl.
So all those cheeses together just
yeah,
blend together.
Little
so you
bit
have
of that
three of those Wisconsin cheeses.
Spice, I can smell that sauce.
There you go.
Ooh. Now the spinach artichoke dip goes on top.
Right on top. There.
Oh my goodness gracious, this is over the top.
There you go. Yeah. And actually, in this sauce, we could add a little bit. We actually can put those in there, a little bit more of that spinach and artichoke that was left over. So then you would have a little bit more of that in there too.
Oh my goodness gracious, Sharon, that looks absolutely fantastic. Now, if you want the recipe, you can head to our website and get it, fox11online.com. Click on the Living tab and recipe, and it'll be right there. Or you can also get it on this mac and cheese.
Yes, it's allthingsmacandcheese.com, and there's over 100 recipes. Food bloggers have provided recipes. We have some new recipes, all using Wisconsin cheese. Lots of fun.
Oh, it sounds delicious. Karen's going to stick around and do a breakfast mac and cheese recipe. That's right, mac and cheese for breakfast. Who knew? And we've got some other fun, different ideas. How to do it yourself on today's show. So stay with us. We'll be back.